waited for everything to start, and they are still here waiting for us to finish. Let's give a round of applause again.
And they promise they will dance before they leave.
All right. So, because we are way behind time, we're just going to do this to 10 minutes. And so I'm not going to go through all the questions that I had for our panel members, right? But I want to say thank you very much to our panel members and making the time to be a part of this event. You are officially welcome to BlueCrest University College. What we do here is run tech programs, fashion programs, business programs, and journalism programs. So we get to talk about that later. But my first question to the panel, and that's a personal one to me, and I'm sure it's probably inspire our students. So let me start with Isaac. Him being the only male on the panel. Isaac, tell us, what piqued your interest? How did you end up with it?
So thank you. It's an honor to be here. Thank you, BlueCrest. Thank you, New Space, for organizing. For tech, and I think tech has many angles to it. We usually confine tech to being IT, but I think actually my mother is what got me into technology. She was very keen on engineering, on technical solutions. So she gave me the space to explore and experiment. So from a young age, I was encouraged to play with things that help keep my curiosity in technical things like Lego. But then slowly, then circuit boards. In Ghana, we have DEX technology that make these science sets. I was playing something similar when I was younger. So I got interested in electronics, technology, and building, and that helped me grow my interest, which became both into technology, but also into IT. And that's where I started from.
Great. Thank you. I should have introduced our panel, but please, once you have the mic, just introduce yourself and then you can answer the question. Sorry about that.
Okay, thank you very much. So my name is Janet Amo, currently a sales manager at OZ. Okay. So what got me into tech? Let's say one day I was there and then apparently I was naive when it comes to technology. But based on what I was doing in some company, I had an email for a job opportunity from Microsoft. And so when I joined Microsoft, I realized I didn't know anything because I didn't even know what a server was. And it was strange. And almost everybody in the company was male. I think we were just two females. And so that struck me and I said, let me do something for myself. Because it puts my job also on the line. I had no choice than to go ahead and learn more. So that was how I started the journey. And I've moved on and on and on. I've been selling, but I only sell softwares. Yes, I told myself if this is what is okay for me or if this is what is trending, then why don't I just take it that my career path is going to be this way. Yes, and so I've been selling softwares until today I'm selling softwares. Yeah, thank you.
Perfect. So my name is Jessica Reynolds and I work at Acquah. My background's actually not in tech, although I've always been really interested in the tech space. But I know that I don't have the patience or the skill set even to learn how to code. That's not for me, that's not who I am. So in school I studied international development and I started working in the development space in East Africa for a little bit. And I kind of realized that the way that development was being done in a lot of more traditional agencies wasn't necessarily something that aligned with where I wanted to go. So I went back to Canada and I kind of thought a little bit about where I wanted to move forward with my career. And an opportunity came up in the tech space working with Nest. So I don't actually work in tech, I don't program, but I work to support founders and CEOs as they build out their tech businesses. So previously it was early stage startups and now it's the later stage startups here in Ghana. But that is just a little bit, I guess, of me and my journey on the tech space, just kind of working to support different entrepreneurs as they build their brands.
Okay, thank you.
So I'm the youngest over here, and so the tech space was booming as I was coming. So I started in university. I was a business major, so like from high school I did business, and that's all I knew. I was going to Acquah to do business administration and become a chartered accountant. And then Acquah being a liberal arts institution, when you go there you do a little bit of everything, no matter what you came there to do. So we had this programming class for JavaScript. It was compulsory, so I went. And then I learned about this whole new world, about computing and all of that, and I was interested, I was curious, I wanted to know more. And so I signed myself up for the extra credit course that did other language like HTML and all of the whole package. And so after doing that for one semester, I was like, no, I don't think I want to do this business anymore. I'm going to do computer science. So I changed my major. And then I continued from there, working internships, got out of school, continued, and now I'm a software engineer. Yeah.
Did you graduate?
Yeah, I graduated.
Right, let's give them all a round of applause. Okay, now the next question I have, and let me just add on to what Isaac said about his parents supporting him. So I was part of a group that was doing, we're trying to identify areas in the, in the Ghana areas where we wanted to support vulnerable girls. And this was in collaboration with Rotary, probably back in 2015. And they had a lot of toys for these young kids to play with, explore and all that. So when we did this donation to the head of the school, they're like, oh, let's keep this in the storeroom. The students are going to destroy it. Then the team lead for Rotary was like, no, let them use them. Let them play with it. Let them destroy it. Because it's in using and letting them explore it, then they destroy it. And what would be the point if they do not use these things? At the end of the day, that is the purpose for it. And it brings me to what you're saying about playing with Lego and all these things. Some of us found ourselves in places where our parents felt like we have to get these toys and stuff that the children shouldn't play with it so much because they destroy it. You get it? So probably that could be maybe one of the reasons why we are here today, because parents are not making available more toys or allowing their kids to play much with these things to explore and all that. So it's very important that we have our parents backing and supporting us, and probably then one of the ways that we can encourage more women into tech. Which brings me to ask this question. Is there a digital divide when it comes to gender? And of course, do you mind?
Yeah. Is there
a digital divide? Yes. Do you feel that young women are not taking more tech courses? Or what some other guy would say, oh, there is no divide. Women are always in the tech space. I don't know what you're making a fuss about with International Women's Day and tech and all that. Is there?
There definitely is a divide. From even the stories we've heard in this room, 38 girls, 45 girls, myself 48 girls. In the workspace, it's male dominated. Where I work, there are only 2 women. We are a group of engineers, but there are only 2 women and then the vast majority are male. So there definitely is a tech divide.
Jessie, you work in tech-focused industry, is there?
Yeah, no, there definitely is a divide between men and women in the tech space. I think especially when you look at, now I'd say it's starting to level out a bit more. It's obviously not anywhere close to where it needs to be. But when you look at kind of later stage companies and even like startups that were around for 3 to 5 years, for the most part, they are male founders, right? So even if you're running recruitment for the master training program or one of the different accelerator programs that we work on, typically we have mandatory, 50% of our companies have to either have a female CEO, co-founder, or high-level leadership, just because we are trying to really increase the number of women coming through our programs. But it's hard to do because the Ghanaian ecosystem isn't that old, and kind of pushing women into tech or providing them with access to the opportunities in the tech space is a newer area. So even yourself, let's say, you probably graduated recently, 2021, and so before that, 2017 is probably when you first started school. I'd say realistically before your class, let's say even 3 years before that, probably the 8 that you had in your class would have been 3, it would have been 4, like it would have been a time. So really now in the ecosystem, it is still very male dominated, and that's kind of one of the issues, because when you look at recruitment and when you look at hiring, you really will have to do kind of an overhaul of the entire system, ecosystem, in order to get that, like equality, I guess, when it comes to men and women in the digital space.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think it's there. It's there because, let me tell you a story. Recently, I tried to do something in Python. Because I've been in the space, so I'm trying to also upgrade myself. So finding a tool to be able to help me to bring myself up to the level, I decided to take a course in data science. Now, I researched and I realized that currently we have just few universities in Ghana that are offering that as a master's program. So that was UCC. Now, when I joined, I was the only female in the class. And it wasn't easy. But later I realized that because it's a new program they are introducing in Ghana and they are introducing in the school, they were cautious about people they are bringing on board because they need to sell the program afterwards. They are looking at people who will be able to excel so they can use that and then get more people for the subsequent class. So I think it's there. Why would you think that taking a female would bring your services down or would make other people not be able to patronize? But it should be open for all. Yes, it should be open for all. So I think it's there.
So I know we talked a lot about Ghana, but I did my university degree in the UK, and in computer science and business. In a class of 104 students, only 6 were female. And this is in the UK. So this is not just a Ghana issue. And I think it stems really on getting more females interested in STEM and tech related things. Also in mathematics, because that's also a very key part of IT and technology. So you always need to get more females encouraged and interested and excelling in these topics in middle school and in high school, so they're able to confidently go into university and choose to, if they want to, go into IT or mechanical engineering or something of that sort.
Great, I actually was coming there, like, what can we do? Because we all agree that there is the divide. Very few females are going into the tech space. What can we do? So, what role, for example, will corporate bodies play in this? Do you mind?
Okay. So, I think it's a big question. Let me tell you another story. So, currently where I work, I joined the company for about 2 years and I was the only female employee. Now, I never relent on that. A lot of people know Oze. Yeah. So apart from Megan, who was the CEO, I was the first female employee, and I was just that for over 2 years. And so I had to fight for that. I had to tell them, look, you need to bring more females. You need to do this. You need to do that. So I think from our own point or from our own selves, we can fight for this. Currently, we have over 50 ladies in the company, both Ghana and Nigeria. So I pushed it from where I was or from where I am. And I think others can also do the same. Yes.
All right, Jesse, you work in MES, and MES is interested in education. So what do you think the education industry also has to play in doing this?
I think that when it comes to the education industry, obviously like around the world realistically, but I can more so speak to specifically in Ghana, it is definitely something that has to kind of have an overhaul, I guess. When you look at the government level, the government can create policies or look to update the curriculum in order to make it more accessible and more inclusive for girls across Ghana, right? If you look at people in some of the northern regions or some of the more remote regions, even if there is tech programming, which I think is part of some standardized curriculums now, they might not have access to a computer lab. They not have access to solid internet and the connectivity that you really need in order to get into this space. So So kind of looking at different ways in which government can come in and enable that, and then also from the educational side of it, really looking at how you do your recruitment is a big way on how you target women, right? The different way that you're marketing, the different channels you're using, which partners you're using in order to send out the different call for applications, and how you're making, even from the beginning of the recruitment process, it inclusive and accessible to girls is going to kind of enable a lot more to first off feel comfortable applying, and they'll see the effort that you're putting into just getting them to apply to the program. Hopefully you're carrying that through the actual implementation of the various project activities you're doing as well. So really just thinking about how you can make it accessible, inclusive, and appealing to young girls in Ghana.
You want to add something?
Yeah, I wanted to say that so already there are many groups that are coming up to address these issues. There are initiatives that have started, and I think sometimes all we need is to make people aware of it. Like in my case, I had no idea about technology and computer and all that, but being introduced to it. So like Isaac said, just pitching it to them, they'll get interested. And so there are several opportunities out there that I think if we're able to put it out there for other people to know, we can get more people on here.
Okay. Let's give all our panel a round of applause. Let me add that in BlueCrest, last year we started the Women in IT scholarship program that is looking at giving full scholarship to young ladies, and the idea is to push a lot of them into a BSc in IT program. Interestingly, we still have very few ladies applying for this scholarship, and we're using social media, we're using other platforms to promote this. But I guess there's a lot that can be done and must be done. So using platforms like these to promote women in tech, the advantages and the opportunities that are out there is one of them. And I'm sure with our panel members in everything that they are doing, they are thinking about female first, as much as that seems a bit biased. But it is one of the things that we can do. And I want to take advantage of this platform to tell our students from Otagon that we have this scholarship available. And probably from here, it shouldn't just be an event that they participated in, but you probably want to go back, and when you have access to your smartphone, you want to check what is digital marketing, what roles are there, I mean, what are the opportunities that are there, what courses do I have to apply in order to be a digital marketer. There was cyber security, there's so much, like even business development in tech, which is what Isaac and Jesse are doing, sales in tech, and so many other things. You get it. So there's a lot of opportunities in the tech space. We don't have a lot of time to explore all of these, but I hope it will not end here. I want to say thank you again to the panel members, and if you have any other questions, we'll be happy to answer them. Let's give us a round of applause again.
A round of applause to our panel. We've kept to time. We have 3 questions, so 60 seconds, 3 minutes. I have a deficit of questions from Rashida's end. I'll give her 2 minutes because we offended Rashida. Her time was up, we had to let her go. So 2 minutes for Rashida. If you have questions on AI, Rashida, please, could you join the panel? I'll have to get you a seat. You ask your questions. Rashida has a 2-minute question Q&A window before the panel takes 3 questions. Okay? So we'll run a Rashida's questions and then the panel's questions. Can I borrow a microphone? There's supposed to be another microphone. Please, Rashida. For Rashida?
For everyone.
Okay, let's do Rashida first. We'll come to you. It's a general question. Okay. So anybody can answer?
Yes.
Okay.
Good afternoon, everyone. This has been a very lovely event, and it's so good to have each and every one of us here. Me personally, I'm very big on us training the young ladies, from high school about technology and making them understand how, they can transition into this space. So as, different companies here, as different individuals, what are we going to do to make sure that we're able to catch these people young? I know we always have events where we bring a lot of women, we have brunch and all of that, but we're not really, I know like sometimes we don't really tap into the younger people so that we can show them the steps show them the tools that they can use, or sort of give them that understanding of what the tech space looks like. So what are the things that we would put in place as an organization or as an individual you put in place for us to help these young ones? Thank you. Are we taking any other question?
Okay, please take that question on the fly. The next question is Sam. Any other question? Anybody has another question? This end? Okay.
I think you ladies have done amazing. Please give them a round of applause. Oh, and the pseudo lady guy. The question is, if you're a young lady here, you want to get information as to how to start a career in tech, who do you call? Who do you go to?
So I think both questions are a bit similar, so I'll address this together. So myself, outside of here, to make this last, I'm making myself available. I'll put up a sign-up sheet. Anybody who's interested in knowing more, how, if you want to come into technology, how would you start, who would you go to? I'm available. I have a wide network of people who are also willing to help. I know programs and other things that you may be interested in, or you might, that might be helpful to you. So if you're interested, after the program, there's a notebook at the back. You can write your name and your number down. I'll contact you, and then we can take it from there.
I think with regards to the question on how people can get involved, I guess, in tech, there's multiple different ways. If it's more for like a personal learning and development level, as was mentioned by the lovely digital marketing presenter, YouTube has everything. You can learn so much on YouTube. I have so many friends who are now senior software developers making good money, working remotely from their beautiful homes, that taught themselves how to do it on YouTube. And I think that in the same sense, you can also use a lot of different tools that are available to you online to do research into different types of tech careers that are available. But when it comes to actually kind of engaging with the ecosystem, there are so many events and so many skills training programs for high school age girls and even younger that are currently out there. You can do a 2-week boot camp to learn how to do web design. You can do a hackathon or an event like that where you get together with other like-minded youth and kind of just discuss different ideas and try and solve different tech problems. And for a lot of these things, you don't have to have any base in technology. They'll simply bring in people and mentors to guide you. But again, like one of the things I'd really recommend for anyone looking to have a career in tech, figure out the different areas that you're interested in, and then just find like someone like Mest, find a company, find anyone that you can get their contact info for, and send them an email, do outreach, see if you can get on a call with somebody, or if you can email back and forth with somebody and just kind of get any sort of clarity around what their, I guess, roadmap was as they went through their career, but even just how you can kind of get more engaged in different things happening. So I feel like that's kind of my best recommendation, but similarly, I'll leave my email as well, and if you guys have any questions about either Nest or kind of the different programs available, please feel free to reach out.
I also just want to, excellent, let's give her a hey, you have to clap like the school clap. Aha, that's high tech. I think Onyeka, who is the lead for digital skills. Onyeka, where are you? Can you all see her? Yeah, she's very tall. And, yeah, she can help you as well. I know Pamela has also offered, but talk to Onyeka as well. Digital Impact Program, or DIP, if you want to dip into tech, right? So you can talk to her. She's shown her interest to help high schoolers, right? Because from high school you go to more high, right? And then another high, and another high. So talk to her. If you want to be high on tech, she's your contact as well. All right, thank you.
Great. Any other questions? Okay.
Just want to add as well how people find out more information. What we do at the Innovation Spark is we do a lot of media. So we put out a weekly newsletter on what's happening in the innovation space. So people can see the different startups from MEST and other places doing things. And we're very intentional to always try to show different females in the space doing things. Because I think sometimes the lack of people who are like you, especially females, in tech, in business, in other fields, because there are many industries that are typically male-dominated, but having role models you can look up to will change and maybe give you more resilience and consistency and the other C's that Kosi was talking about. And we're going even deeper, and we're going to start a female focus show where we just interview other females and get them to share their stories and their experiences. So that's what we're contributing to help empower women in the next generation.
I have mentioned the Women in IT scholarship that is giving full scholarship to students in high school interested in pursuing programming tech. That's one. We also have a lot of certificate programs in IT. So when you have your break, which track is in school? Is it gold or green? Silver? Single. You are a single track. Okay. So you have probably a whole 1 month break, isn't it? No. 2 week break. Okay. So but do you get a long vacation or something? No, you don't get. Okay. So back in this, but when you have a break, we run boot camps here as well for high school students. For somebody who is still not sure where to start, what to do, where to go, you can start with that. Explore the various areas of tech. You get it. So the boot camp is to open your mind to the various areas of courses and other that's available in tech. That's a place for you to start. And then probably from there, you can continue on to, once you've identified the path you want to take, you can probably consider a certificate program, which some of them run as, for example, digital journalism is running about just 1 month. And we have some 3 months, 6 months program that you can take. Probably before you even enter the university, so you have had a sort of taster, and then probably that can inform your decision on going into tech full-time. You get it? So this is what this school is offering. There's a lot of scholarship available as well, and some of our trainings are also free. So if you follow our social media pages and all that, you'll be seeing these ads and all that. So that's what BlueCrest is also doing to support women in tech and encourage more women into tech.
Okay. Do you guys still have clubs in school?
Yes.
I used to be part of Red Cross. But Sam and Yodeka, I think that an idea would be to form a blue club, right? BlueCrest, Blue Space, Blue Club. 2 laptops every Friday. When do your class meet? Thursdays. So those are club days, right? 2 laptops. We get a resource person in the school. We have a blue club, right? We take you from school right into a program. After school, BlueCrest can take it from there. And I think that we have something started. There's a question somewhere.
Please, I want to ask of the job opportunities, like when you engage in tech.
It's massive. That's from me.
In terms of the job opportunities in tech, the UN came out this year for the International Women's Day, and in their conference they're saying that by 2050, 70% of jobs globally are going to be digital in some capacity. So whether it's programming or digital marketing or anything online, a significant amount, and pretty much every industry other than, let's say, being a doctor, I would say, is going to incorporate technology in some capacity. And even that, when you think of the learnings and actually like the hardware and the developments in that space, it's going to also become more and more tech enabled. So there are massive, massive opportunities now.
Let me let Rashida wow you. She was talking about AI.
Yes.
She will tell you what AI does and how much the job opportunity is like.
Okay, so unfortunately I didn't get to show you how AI works, so it's a little difficult to tell you the job opportunities that are available. However, if AI can expedite a process for you, then that means that you can do it a lot faster, and you can do skills that maybe you inherently don't have. Maybe you understand the concept of maybe essentially writing a business plan or an essay, or rather a project proposal for someone, you can then have a freelance career in any of these industries. When it came to the image rendering, there are platforms. Is anyone here familiar with Fiverr? Fiverr? So Fiverr is an online platform where there are freelancers. Freelancers are people who work for themselves on project-to-project basis. So you can be a freelancer to be a copywriter, an editor, a graphic designer, a storyteller. And if you use incredible tools like ChatGPT, ChatGPT-4, Midjourney, DALL-E, or any of the OpenAI integrations, you could integrate yourself in that career. So you saw in my presentation, I never took a brush or anything to create any of the images. I just used words. I simply told the computer, I want a black woman with cancer. And that's how I got that woman who was bald. I want a black woman who's an astronaut in a hyper-realistic setting in space. And that's how I got certain images. So if you can think it and you can write it, you can create it.
Okay,
So,
I'll let you speak and then
okay. So earlier I mentioned that I'd been in touch with the headmistress for Odogono. Where is she? Yes. So I actually did mean the headmistress. Sorry, the house mistress. So I meant to make that correction. All right. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. And the last thing is, I think most of you are thinking about tech as too big in your minds, right? It's too huge. It's something you can't imagine. Okay, let me give you an example to top it off. I can let my phone send a message at 7 a.m. every morning. That's just it. And somebody created that. And you can learn to do that too. So no, if I have 10 friends I have to say good morning to, there's no need for me to go and be typing. To spend 20 minutes to talk to them. By the time I wake up, those messages have been sent. That's 20 minutes of your time that you could use to exercise, to run, or to do something else. Those are the possibilities of everything that the panel is telling you. And what Blue Space is doing, and what BlueCrest University wants to do with you. Open your minds as an opportunity. Don't let your teacher come to class and want to come and discuss during computer class. Tell him that we want to learn what it does. We want to understand. We are going to use it. We are the next generation. It's been an amazing event. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, and I would like to say a big thank you to the panel. Wrapping it up will be Henrietta, and then we'll have the vote of thanks from one of you. I'll mention the name and then the closing prayer, and then, yes, we are done.
Okay, so
we'll have a picture, so please, some of us, we get lost in pictures. So
all right, okay. I'm actually going to give the opportunity to Leo. Leo? Yes, Leo wanted to share just two thoughts.
Okay.
Okay, this is going to be real quick. Sorry for the delay, actually. My name is Leo from the Admission Department of BlueCrest University. This is our director, and she communicated the scholarship and everything. So if you need anything concerning the scholarship, if you need me to brief you concerning anything, you can see me. I'm at the front desk. My name is Leo, like I mentioned. You just come to me. I'm very vibey. We'll go back, okay?
Is there a sheet at the yes. What I want us to do is to just have a sheet of paper, let them leave their details so that we can